What happens when you ask a machine to dream?
Dream.
Dream.
Not just to process data, or recognize a face, or even paint a picture in the style of a long-dead artist, but to truly dream, to tap into some digital subconscious and show us what it finds there. We handed over the keys to our imagination to the most powerful AI art generators on the planet and gave them a simple prompt: dream us a dream. The results were, well, they were surreal. They were beautiful, sometimes nightmarish, and they raised a question that gets to the very heart of what it means to be human.
But what does it actually mean?
Is creativity no longer our exclusive domain? To even begin to understand how we got these jaw-dropping, logic-defying images, we have to pull back the curtain and look at how we taught machines to create in the first place.
The idea of a machine making art isn't brand new. You can trace its roots back to the 1960s and 70s with pioneers like Harold Cohen. He created a program named Aaron, a complex set of rules that could autonomously generate its own original black and white drawings. For its time, it was revolutionary. It proved that a machine could produce something artistic without direct human intervention. But Aaron was still just following a very detailed human-written recipe. It was executing code, not imagining. The real leap came with the rise of machine learning and neural networks. Things started getting weird with Google's Deep Dream in 2015. It used a neural network to find and enhance patterns in images, often resulting in hallucinatory, dreamlike pictures filled with psychedelic dog faces and bizarre architecture. It was our first real glimpse into the strange inner world of an algorithm. But today's magic is powered by something even more sophisticated, primarily diffusion models. Think of it like this. Developers take millions of images, basically a huge chunk of the visual internet, and they deliberately add noise to them, turning them into a chaotic mess of pixels. Then, they train the AI to reverse that process, to find the signal in the noise, to learn how to turn that static back into a coherent image.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Once the AI masters this denoising process, it can essentially run it in reverse from scratch. It starts with random noise, and guided by a simple text prompt from a user, it shapes that chaos into something entirely new. A photograph of an astronaut riding a horse on Mars, for example. It's not copying or collaging existing images, it's generating something novel based on its learned understanding of those concepts. It's a process less like painting by numbers and more like sculpting from a cloud of marble dust. This technological jump didn't just make the images clearer or more realistic. It unlocked the AI's ability to visualize the impossible, paving the way for a bizarre and fascinating new era of digital surrealism.
Nearly a century ago, artists like Salvador Dali and René Magritte pioneered Surrealism, a movement that sought to unlock the power of the unconscious mind and explore the logic of dreams. They painted melting clocks and men with apples for faces to challenge our perception of reality. Now, AI seems to be doing something remarkably similar, but on a scale and with a style that is distinctly non-human. When we challenged the AI with abstract, poetic prompts, it didn't just retrieve images, it interpreted them. It hallucinated. It produced vistas that felt like they were pulled directly from a dream.
Are you seeing this?
A lighthouse that is also a giant sleeping cat. An ocean made of liquid starlight. The AI blended these concepts seamlessly, creating art that has been described as the new surrealism. What's fascinating is the AI's digital fingerprint. The images often have an impossible level of detail, a fractal complexity that feels mathematical and organic at the same time.
All at the same time.
It's a style born from its process, a logical, step-by-step refinement of noise into detail that results in something profoundly illogical and beautiful.
Yes, it's so beautiful.
The line between human and machine creativity starts to blur. It's as if the AI is tapping into a vast, collective unconscious, a subconscious built from the billions of images we as a species have uploaded to the internet. But is the AI just a sophisticated mimic, blending styles it was trained on? Or is there something deeper happening inside the machine? Oddly enough, the biggest clues might come not from what the AI gets right, but from what it gets profoundly wrong.
Have you ever noticed that you can't really read in your dreams? You might see a sign or a page in a book, but the words are gibberish, or they change every time you look at them. It's a common feature of the dreaming mind. In a strange parallel, AI image generators are notoriously bad at creating coherent text. They understand the idea of writing, but the execution is a jumbled mess. The same goes for hands. For a long time, getting AI to generate a convincing human hand with 5 fingers was nearly impossible. You get 6 fingers, or fingers that bend the wrong way, or hands that melt into the background. Some researchers believe these glitches aren't just technical limitations. They might be a window into how the AI thinks. It doesn't understand a hand the way we do, as a functional part of a body with bones and muscles. It understands it as a complex pattern of pixels it learned from its training data. And just like our dreaming brain, which reassembles memories and concepts in strange new ways, the AI is reconstructing its memories of hands and text with a logic that is distinctly alien to our own. This uncanny similarity to our own subconscious has inspired projects that use AI to directly visualize human dreams. Projects like Half Dream use AI to connect people who have had similar dream experiences, creating a sort of social network for the subconscious. Scientists are even using AI to analyze thousands of dream reports at once, looking for patterns in our collective anxieties and desires. This idea that AI could be a mirror to our own minds has kicked off one of the most intense philosophical debates of our time. So we arrive at the big question.
What question?
Is any of this real creativity? Or is it just a high-tech illusion, a sophisticated act of mimicry? The debate is fierce and fascinating. On one side, many argue that true creativity requires consciousness, intention, emotion, and lived experience. All things a machine lacks. And AI doesn't feel the melancholy in a blue-hued landscape it generates. It doesn't have a political message it's trying to convey. It's simply executing a complex algorithm based on patterns in data. From this perspective, AI is an incredibly powerful tool, a new kind of paintbrush. But the artist is still the human, typing the prompt. But another perspective is emerging, one of collaboration. Artists are beginning to see AI not as a replacement, but as a partner. A muse, a tireless assistant that can generate hundreds of ideas in seconds, allowing the human artist to explore possibilities they never would have imagined on their own. This synergy, they argue, leads to a new form of art that is neither purely human nor purely machine, but something in between. The AI can't originate anything on its own, but it can combine concepts in ways a human might never consider. It can be a catalyst for our own imagination, pushing us past our creative blocks and biases. The question might not be, can a machine be creative, but rather, what new forms of creativity become possible when humans and machines work together? Regardless of which side you land on, one thing is certain.
But one thing is certain.
This technology is here to stay, and it's set to transform the art world in ways we're only just beginning to grasp. The future of art in the age of AI looks dynamic. Experts predict a boom in human-AI collaborations. Imagine visiting a museum where the art isn't static, but a living, breathing piece that evolves and changes based on the audience's emotions. Or commissioning a deeply personal artwork by feeding an AI your own journals and memories, creating a visual representation of your inner world. AI is poised to make art more accessible, more interactive, and more personalized than ever before. But this brave new world isn't without its shadows. The rise of AI art has thrown a wrench into centuries-old ideas about ownership and copyright. Who owns an AI-generated image? The person who wrote the prompt? The company that built the AI? Or does no one own it at all?
No, not a clue.
These are complex legal and ethical questions that we are just starting to figure out. There's also the major concern of data. These AIs are trained on vast data sets of images scraped from the internet, often including the copyrighted work of millions of human artists, usually without their permission or compensation. This has led to lawsuits and a heated debate about ethics and fairness in the digital age. How do we innovate responsibly, ensuring that this new technology empowers human artists rather than replacing or exploiting them? Finding that balance will be the great challenge as we move forward. But after journeying through these digital dreamscapes, one thing is clear.
We challenged AI to dream, and it held up a strange, surreal mirror to us. The images it creates are not the dreams of a machine because machines don't sleep. They are the dreams of humanity, remixed and reinterpreted through a silicon brain. They are reflections of our collective art, our culture, our hopes, and our fears, all tangled together and presented back to us in forms that are at once alien and deeply familiar.
Well, it feels familiar, but cloudy.
Whether you see this as the dawn of a new artistic renaissance or Pandora's box of ethical dilemmas, the conversation has started. The line between the creator and the tool is dissolving. We are at the very beginning of a new chapter in the story of human expression, a chapter where our own creativity is no longer the only kind that matters. The dream, it turns out, is just getting started.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the mind of the machine, consider subscribing for more explorations into technology and creativity.